share.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Beauty. It's my third time recording this video. The first time, it was not recorded. The second time, it was muted. And there we go. We're going to record it, I hope, the last time. And this time is the good one. So today we're going to talk about humanitarian immigration option. So this is a comprehensive guide to visa, to VAWA, U visa, and T visa. This pathway, as you guys all know, there is 3 ways to become to get your green card to the United States. The first one is through family base. The second one is employment base, and lastly, there is humanitarian base. So today, we're going to talk about the 3 pathway you could get your green card through humanitarian base. Then again, my name is BOT. I am an immigration consultant. I am a legal rebel, and I'm part of the Willa Law Academy. So let's go. So humanitarian immigration base is a legal status for victim. This one protects those who have suffered from abuse, crime, or trafficking. This presentation is an educational for it only for educational purposes. It is not for legal advice. So let's go over the 3 pathway. There is 3 powerful pathway to protection under humanitarian base. There is VAWA. VAWA is relief for survivor of domestic violence involving U.S. citizen or residents. There is U visa. It's for victim of serious crime who assist law enforcement investigation. And there are also T visa, status for victim of severe form of severe humanitarian trafficking. So we're going to talk about the first one. This one is the most current one. It's the Violence Against Women's Act. It does say it's violence against women, but men and women can apply for it. They probably chose this name because mostly women get abused. I'm not sure. So this pathway, you could self-petition yourself. You do not need the permission of your abuser, or they don't need to know about it. It's self-petitioning for safety and permanent residence. You is a pathway to get your green card and also at the end get your citizenship. So who qualify for VAWA? So the person that qualified for VAWA, it's basically spouse of a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. It's a children of a U.S. citizen, of a green card holder, a parent of an abused U.S. citizen. I mean, if you have a husband, you've been abused emotionally, physically, and you do have proof and evidence, you might have a case. You might qualify for VAWA if there's threats against you. If that person is threatening you because it knows you don't have paper, and then you just like taking your money, making you work, and then cursing you out, those are abuse that are considered under VAWA. Even the children, if you are children and you've been abused by a U.S. citizen or LPR, you can petition for your own VAWA. And they're also parents. So let's say if you are parent and then your daughter or son, which is a U.S. citizen, is abusing you, you can do a petition. There's a lot of old people and they are in their old age and then a U.S. citizen, or they are getting abused. They don't let them go to work. They're making them work as a slave to take care of kids in the South. Those are cases that we see a lot in our community, and then people do apply for people can get their residency or green card through those pathways. So we're going to make sure we define abuse and collecting evidence. Recognize abuse. Abuse, like we said before, it's not only physical abuse. It's not only when that person is putting hands on you and they consider it as abuse. Yes, if that person put hands on you and then you call the police, you have proof of that, you could petition. But there's also emotional abuse. That person is stressing you out. That person is putting you through hell. Those are Those are abuse that you could go to a therapist and get a psychological evaluation, and you will be able to prove. There's a lot of people that been through hell, and they be like, okay, but he doesn't, she doesn't put hands on me, or he doesn't put hand on me, and there's no way I'll be able to prove whatever he says. Yes, there is proof. Whatever he says to you, of course, that person not going to record whatever he's saying. But sometimes, if you go to a therapist, and then they will be able to write up, do a psychological evaluation, and you'll be able to prove that. We talk about emotional and psychological harm, isolation. You're married to a U.S. citizen, and all of a sudden you cannot contact your parent, you cannot talk to your family, you get isolated. No, you don't have access to phone call. You've been controlled, or that person keep on telling you, okay, you don't have no green card, I will get you deported, or those type of things. Those are things that could get you qualified for VAWA. And yes, you can self petition. You might apply without the abuser permission or knowledge. You do not need their help. You do not. And one more thing we need to keep in mind, the victim is never at fault. Yes, you can be still with the person, you get abused, you apply for your VAWA. The person don't need to know. Doesn't mean you need to break up with that person so you could file your VAWA. You don't need to break up with that person, because the uh, in law, they do not punish the victim. Of course, you need to make sure the marriage was a good faith marriage, not okay, you get married to that person and all of a sudden that person don't want to file for you and you want to send out no VAWA. It's not how it works. You need to file for your VAWA. If the marriage was a good marriage, you need to prove that the marriage was real via pictures, bank statement, witness affidavit of support. If you guys have things together, if you guys file taxes together, or did that started, or did you guys meet? You need to show, you need to prove and explain, walk the USCIS officer through the whole story, make let them explain them how it started, that everything, the person was not the same when you just get met together. You just happen to change all the setting, because that happened most of the time. When you meet somebody, you just act like he's an angel, and after a couple of years is the true face of the devil. Here it is. Ha. Of course, you need to have some type of documentation, and those are a few documents that you should have: a police report, a medical report, a therapist evaluation. We spoke about that. And any threat, if you have proof of any threat, you could show that messages, voice, you could use all of those things. So now we're going to talk about U visa for crime or victim. This is when you're not married to somebody and you are a victim of a crime. Let's say there is specific type of crime, and then you did call the police, and then you did collaborate with the law enforcement, and then they decided they do not want you to, they want you to have justice, like justice for those who keep our community safe. They don't want you to be they don't want you to be afraid of reporting somebody, and they do provide you protection. So basically, your visa, it's when you been victim of certain crime, not through your husband, anybody, you don't have to be a US citizen, and you did help the law enforcement to fill out this case. A U visa is set aside for victims who have suffered substantial harm or have been helpful to the law enforcement. But they need to sign the certification form for you, which is the I-119 Supplement B. It must be signed. It could be signed by the police, by the prosecutor, or the judge. I feel like the prosecutor have been very helpful, because I have a few cases and I call the prosecutor and they just, oh yes, we don't know what you're talking about. Send me the address and I'll sign it and send it to you. I'm not sure about the judge and the police yet, but the prosecutor, they have been very helpful. We have a qualifying crime, not any type of crime. We have domestic violence, assault, trafficking, stalking, kidnapping, and they also strangulation. If somebody is like trying to kill you, those are crime that are qualifying crime for you visa, and it must be reported. It cannot just like be evaluation of therapies. It cannot just be that you need to report it, and then the instance that you reported to need to willing to be able to help you to get to sign for you so you could get it. You need to get the I-19B supplement sign, and then the form that goes with that, it's the supplement, the I-19. Okay, and you also could request for your work permit while waiting for it, same as the U visa. There is a waiting list, but while you were waiting for a long time, you might be able to go to work. And like asylum, you need to have, for this case, you need to have your I-90B well prepared, the certification. You need to have a statement explain everything that happened to you, and also have a lot of evidence that you could support whatever that you put on the application. Same for the VAWA cases. Collecting evidence and benefits, essential evidence. We have police report, you need to have the case number, court record, medical document, and photo of injuries. If you don't have photo of injury and if psychological evaluation, you'll be able to use that as well. Wait time. Backlogs are long, but applicant may qualify for deferred action and work permit while waiting. Deferred action is like you cannot get deported while we are waiting. Family relative. If you are married, you could also apply for your wife and children under this category. You both could benefit from it. Now let's talk about the trafficking visa. We all know there's a few people they just go to another country, but a few girls here may let them make them work. Or if somebody know you're an immigrant, they underpay you. You start working under the table, they give you a little money, and then they threaten you saying that, okay, I know you don't have paper, that's why we don't want to do all this type of abuse. You could qualify for a trafficking visa. And there is a lot of people from mostly Mexico, even Haiti, that go through that, and they don't even know if they could qualify for the T visa. Labor versus sex trafficking. Labor trafficking occur when a worker are forced to work to death, bondage, threat of deportation, and withholding of passport. Evidence, you need to have a few areas like pay workers, traveler, employment contract, and any threat that you have recorded. Sex trafficking is the same, involving commercial sex, acting by force, fraud, coercion. Federal law take this case very seriously. You need to be physical presence in the United States to do trafficking in cooperation with authority. You need to protect your future. Important warning: do not file fraudulent report of fake case. Do not think, okay, I know what I should do. I know I could apply for this and then just build up a case which is fake and set it out. They will destroy your immigration fraud, can destroy your future. Every case is unique and require proper analysis and honest evidence. Do not lie to the US government. So if you guys have any question, again, my name is BOT. I am a legal rebel. You guys could contact me at my number, Facebook, and I'm part of the group. You could just contact me anytime. Thank you very much.